Creation's Journey to Life, Day 81, The Only Real Character. This post is part of the Stepping Out of Character series. Day 78, Stepping Out of Character. Day 79, Stepping Out of Character with Loved Ones. Day 80, Creating a Character. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the only real character in the real space and time matter dimension is the flesh as self, breathing here, as the actual point that defines my participation in this world as this life. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that each one in this physical dimension of space and time is equal as the air each breathes, and that the real time of this flesh character is measured breath by breath as who we are and what we do and live as this breath, as that defines the real nature of the self as flesh. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I exist in a world as real if I cannot get out of it unless I die, indicating that where I am is where I must live, and prove that I grasp this by creating where I am, as the world we all share, as what is best for all life, as that will prove that I truly care about the life I share. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the flesh is the self that is equal as character in the world of matter, and that it matters who I am as flesh in my relationship with all matter, and that I must honor matter in all forms as my equal here, and create relationships that bring all form in the world of matter to fulfillment, that all in matter may have a life of worth equally. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that when I create a character as myself in a non-matter dimension within the mind, I am not here as the reality as flesh and matter, and will no longer be able to realize the value of self as matter, as I tend to glorify the characters I create in non-matter, where I am the only God and can make my characters seem superior to characters of matter, causing major abuse in the world of matter when I give power to the illusory characters in my mind to feed them with energy, regardless to the harm it causes in the world of matter. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to not realize that individual equality as a basic right to life is only achievable if we, as one, take care of all characters made of matter to make sure that each character has a life that is best, leading to a world of matter where the life in matter is always best for all forms of matter, proving that we are worthy of life and can be trusted with life, as we show we understand that the only real world is the world where there is a consequence that we cannot escape unless we harm another. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that those in the flesh that seem to have a good life, have the good life, are only able to have the good life by harming others and causing them to have a bad life. As in a world of matter, resources are limited, although plenty, and must be shared equally in ways that are best to ensure that all forms in matter have a good life. Yet, through getting lost in illusory, self-created characters, imposing the illusion on the reality of matter, we have allowed hell to be created on earth as poverty, starvation, war, disease, mental disorder, fear, anxiety, and every experience that causes harm to others, not caring at all as long as our personal lives are happy, justifying the abuse through illusory philosophies and beliefs in invisible characters that apparently give us the right to abuse life in matter, because apparently matter is an illusion, while matter is the place of consequence and where consequence exists. Illusions do not exist. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that if I sell reality for the illusion of my mind, the consequence is that when I die, I only will be an illusion as consequence, and this consequence will be by my volition only, as I had all the evidence that matter is real through the fact of consequence. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the fact that I must breathe to stay alive shows that matter is the real reality and that the flesh is the real self. But if I live in my mind where I create fake selves as characters, my real self as flesh will become a zombie organic robot, and then I that I became as illusion, as energy, will be subjected to the flesh for energy to exist and will end when the flesh dies. It is thus paramount to wake the real self as the flesh up and become aware as the real self so that the real world can be recreated as what is best for the reality of matter if I want matter to the universe and life for real. I commit myself to show that the only real self is the flesh that breathes and makes the experience in matter possible, and that the flesh is the real man that is meant with equal man know thyself. I commit myself to show that through the destiny portal we investigate the result of each death to confirm what happens to the fake character of the mind, and we publish life reviews to assist with self-realization as the real self, and that we found that each one that dies as the mind end, and only the character as flesh as what is best for all life continues after death equally. I commit myself to show that all that is necessary is to live breath by breath in ways that will change the world to what is best for all life in the flesh, stopping in illusory characters of the mind, physically and practically supporting that which will bring a world best for all life in measurable physical ways, so that I may stand as the evidence of my life that I have left no stone unturned or tried to serve both illusion and matter, as I was scared that I would suffer in some way if I do not support my illusion as well. This must be done in the context of the form and system that now exist on earth till I, with others like me that realize this, change the system to what is best for life in matter. I commit myself to ask all that understand that the real world works according to the sequential time currently enslaved to money, to make sure you support effectively with money the solution till it is the new reality installed. Do so in understanding that one may show understanding practically, or the illusion will continue, as money in its current form will overpower common sense purely through the fake fears of the fake characters that try and protect its existence with money. Support the equal money system and EQUAF to make sure the solution is sufficiently funded that the re-education of the living flesh that takes more than 7 years per person can be facilitated and funded. I commit myself to show that the consequence of being lost as characters in the mind is that the flesh over time got infected by the patterns of the illusion that will have to be removed from the flesh over time through a physical support system, as the fake self cannot realize self as life as the flesh. Thus, as the only real point of the flesh here is breath, breath by breath, the self, as flesh, must identify the illusion that enslaved itself and remove them one by one per character memory until the flesh is here as life to reconstitute the flesh to be the point of life that participates in this world of matter, creating that which is best for all life in matter, always. Time as space ensures that there is no shortcut and that what was imposed on the flesh over time must be removed over time to set the enslaved flesh free, so that man can move from illusion as slave to reality as life. Anyone claiming a shortcut is just another lying fake character of the mind that is unwilling to set life free. This will take many years to achieve, and writing self-forgiveness, self-honestly, breath by breath, is the only way that one will be able to birth life from the physical. This is so as only one process that is the same for everyone will confirm equality and ensure equality as what is best for all life. The illusory characters that will deny this, as they have created a fake reality for themselves where they believe they are more than reality, yet self-honesty within consequence proves the lie of the fake character that seeks self-interest. Do not postpone, as you do not hold your life as flesh in your hands, and at any time it may be your last breath. This is as it should be, to make sure only life will be born from the physical, as an illusion will never be life. Use this opportunity of a character of flesh to create self as life, one and equal, as flesh, as matter.